Okay.
Do you remember when Poe is done with his training montage and he sits down at the table and Master Shifu says, "You're free to eat," and Poe sits down and grabs the sticks and he says, "No, like no nothing, no nothing, just." And I say, like, "Am I? Is this real?" And that's what he looks like.
It takes a while, but you're eventually allowed to eat. No one fights you with chopsticks or the like. There aren't any dumplings, though, so disappointing.
Yeah. But it's strawberries, so yeah.
Yeah. Fauna does state, though. Okay, it does seem we can go into the city now, but once we do, we will immediately be met with the council. Well, maybe not immediately, but they did say we will have to go with them first before we enter into the city proper. So if there's anything we need to do before heading in there, we are going to likely speak with politicians. Honestly, I'd prefer fighting a dragon again. It seemed easier than I thought it'd be.
I know, right? It was actually really fun. I mean, we should try to go find the mother dragon next, and we can take out that, and then we can get a lot of money.
Listen.
What?
We need to take care of the city. Come on.
Well, we can do that after. Like, we can take care of the city, and then we can do that after we take care of the city, and then we can get so much, like we don't even know how much these things are worth.
Nikolai.
What?
You also have to remember. He said mother.
Yeah.
Amara does state, and he also said that was a young one.
If that was a young one, and the mother is much older, it means they are much, much stronger. I don't think we can
are we like talking about like 2 times, or like we talk like how smart is Nikolai? Like math?
Roll intelligence? You're smart enough.
So like is it like exponentially like a stronger kind of scale?
Opal
is that how it would work?
Opal, no, she wouldn't know dragons. She'd just know magical stuff. Fauna, being the more inclined to nature, does state. Amara could also. Fauna does state. Well, based off the ecology of dragons themselves, young ones can be between the ages of 50 to 100. But elderly dragons or motherly dragons go from the ranges of elven lifespans, so at least 1,000 years old. But that being the case, though, the older they get, the stronger they become.
So on like a scale of like...
if that was a young one, and I'm going to say a scale of 1 to 100, the one we faced was maybe a 20, and the older one would be maybe 80 to 100.
Okay. So, like, 5 times stronger.
Give or take.
Okay. Well, let's chalk that up as to a maybe, and then we can think about that later. How about that?
Yes, possibly later.
Sounds like a good plan. Yeah. Okay.
We might need to figure out where it is eventually, so not off the table, just not right now.
Well, you can track it.
I mean, I would need a source of it, but potentially.
Well, we have the younger one.
That wouldn't work. It would just locate the skeleton of the younger one.
Okay. I get. Okay.
Unless we have a devotion or divine being that can track through lineage, but I can't do that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Whisper does state. Anyways, suicidal attempts at taking out an ancient dragon aside, is there anything you all need to do?
We are going to have to take down a demon too, so that's another thing on the list. But yeah, it does. So let's go inside.
No, before we go in, I think it might be a good idea to get in contact with General Tyne's associate. I have the material and the know-how to reach them. Actually, also Serrano's associate as well. For mentioning it to Nikolai and Ada. You others wouldn't necessarily know who Serrano is, but there is an associate here that I need to get in contact with, and they may be able to give us a lot of information of what's going on here.
It's
So-
possible. But in the meantime, she walks away from the table, picks up the bathroom shovel. I need to go and leave for about 5 minutes. So, think of whatever you want to tell them, and I'll meet you back here in 5.
Very well.
She begins to leave the barracks, and here's where we'll take our 5-minute break. I'll be right back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do that too. I had to check on my dog.
Yeah, I'll be back here in a minute.
Gotcha.
Possible. Awesome back.
Awesome.
Nice.
Nikolai, you good?
Oh yeah, I'm just singing the song. Has anybody? Okay, just random. Sorry, I didn't want to stop us from playing, but has anybody looked like the new spell, the Flippin?
Dragon
Yeah, the
Treasury.
Treasury of Dragons stuff.
Yeah, I have the book.
There's some pretty cool stuff in there.
Oh, my dad just talked about that book before I came here.
Yeah, no, I actually gave one of my players a partial feat. So you know how you can get feats from each type of the dragons?
Yeah.
I gave them a part of the chromatics. The chromatic infusion. But I was severely limited to where they only get like one type of elemental damage, and it's lightning. But that just goes along with like their story and their background of how things are. So
Cool.
But yeah, no, it's like, oh, this is cool. And then they also got an item, a slumbering item, too. So
What book was this?
Fizban's Treasury of Dragons or Dragon Treasury.
Ah.
It's the newest book that they just came out with all the dragons.
I'll have to check it out. Honestly, I'm just hearing about it now.
It's a pretty sweet book.
Man, if I knew about it today, then the fight would have totally been different.
Yeah, so basically it's just a book about like you can make a dragon like a dragon soul monk or something.
Huh?
And there's like some interesting more flavor options with how characters can be different, like originate from dragon heritage and things like that.
Yeah.
So
for a DM, it goes into more of how certain dragons react, how they act, and how you can better play them, give them rare actions, and then also giving out loot based off of the dragon's hoard. So
yeah. Cool though, pretty cool. We'll have to check that out later. But yeah, everyone good to go?
Yeah.
Yep. Good to go.
All right. Whisper comes back 5 minutes later. Okay. Now we'll go into the woods for about 5 minutes. Puts the shovel away. Watches her hands. Figured what you needed to speak with the guy about, or whatever.
Well, I first have to find this person, but
can we go get some alcohol?
That's inside the town, Nikolai.
Yeah.
No, we first have to go through the councilman, and then I think our first course of action will be go to a cabin and get a little bit better breakfast than we have right now.
I mean, I know it's only like, I don't know, what time is it? Like 7, 6 or something like that?
After eating 7.
Yeah, I mean, I get a little, I mean, we just fought a dragon. We didn't even get to celebrate.
Maybe we can celebrate later tonight.
I don't know. Maybe it's not worth celebrating. Maybe we still have to figure out what's going on in town. I don't know.
So I think it could be an ideal thing to celebrate, but let's have our wits about us at least until this evening.
Tempting. No promises.
Nikolai will pay for your drinks.
All of them?
Yes.
Fine. Deal. I shake Ada's hand.
And you do so. Amara, wondering if Ada's enabling Nikolai, does state, all right then, Dust, would you like to communicate now or later? Regardless of what may happen, we will just be doing it under the eyes of the council or before the eyes of the council. As in before we go in there.
Above game. Are you is Amara asking about like the token that I have to contact? I think it was Pegasus,
Yes.
Pink Pegasus.
Pink
And
Pegasus.
he's just like, no, that is not the individual that I'm talking about.
Oh.
There is another individual. He goes by the moniker of Strong Arm.
Well,
Strong Arm.
I guess we'll have to find him in town then.
Yes. I do have some information on how to find him. A little information. Look between the lines in shadow. There you will find the Golden Tooth Mall. In gleaming eyes, you will find me. That's all that I have written. I could have had it slightly off. So a little bit of a poem to find him.
That's not cryptic. All right, then I guess we'll have to explore in the city itself.
Yes. And maybe ask around for if there's a mall around.
Fair enough.
Particular mall, the Golden Mall.
Opal does state, either way, we need to get inside. I'm still carrying like a lot of dragon skin, and it's very heavy.
I think we would have slid the dragon skin into one of our bags of holding.
You mean to put in some of that in my bag of holding?
She just asked you guys, and why didn't you tell me that before today and the 2 hours it took us to get here?
You want to hold the bag of holding?
She's
I may
more or
have said
less-
that when I was muted.
Yeah, she's more or less putting it in the bag, just mumbling that she carried it for 2 hours. But then it goes inside the bag of holding.
There you go. Good idea. Good job.
She like stands up heavily and hurts her back. Okay. Not a carrying person.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not that
think we
strong,
would've-
Nikolai.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just. Yeah. No. I didn't know if I could help.
You are.
I'm, okay.
That weighs like 100 pounds. And I'm 130.
I can't do it. I can't do anything to help. I mean, I guess I could transform you into.
Nah, she's just hurting her
else,
back
but-
right now. She'll be fine
Guess it doesn't
after she
matter.
walks it off after like an hour or so. Either way, though, she does state. So we going inside? Getting
Yeah.
to meet this big
Well-
bad elemental council. I still think one of the houses should be named Metal instead of Steel, but whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just get it over with.
Let's go.
Let's go.
The faster we get this over with, the more we get drinks.
Amar just underneath her breath where Nikolai can't hear. But anyone with 15 and up can, so just Ada and maybe Whisper. I really do wish she'd stop enabling him. And Whisper does state, honestly, if she doesn't, he has enough money to do so himself, so there's that. You guys begin to head towards the gate. And then you meet two guards, but not the same two guards. Some rando named West and someone else named Ivan. Ivan themselves looks towards you and simply enough to state, travelers, good day. Almost the same cadence, but a little bit different. So, what brings you here on this rather fine morning?
We were here the night previous. In fact, you saw us while you were doing your rounds. Ivan,
Oh,
as your name tag says.
oh yes, sometimes people just go into the barracks to rest for a while. Looks at his clipboard. Oh yes, here you are. It says here you've been traveling for a day. Instead of 5. He seems to just be doing, it's pretty early for him. So honestly, he's just waking up from what you can tell. Or maybe he's lying. It's hard to tell. He might just not be a morning person. But he doesn't seem to be like exuding evil. But he does state, oh, right then. are you ready to meet the councilmen now? They are ready if you'd like.
Yes.
Better now than never.
All right then. And good luck, and I wish you well. They open
I keep my eyes trained on him like the whole time. Like I'm like a hawk. Like I don't blink as I'm watching him as we're walking through the door.
You're walking through the door, and there you see just a black hallway made out of nothing but shadow. You can tell that with some of your dark vision, it is just shadow. So dust, magical darkness. There, before the magical darkness, you do see a representative of the city itself. Someone buttoned it, tied together with a nice vest and suit. Looking towards you, a man roughly the size of Nikolai. A little bit shorter, like 5'7". Human does state. I take it you are the individuals that are seeking asylum, pardon. Or simply traveling here.
Traveling here. We are not seeking asylum.
Very good then. If you would follow me. And he walks into the darkness, and you lose him like as soon as he steps through it.
Are we out of the forest?
No, we're essentially in a room that is enchanted for dark.
I didn't know. Okay.
Like there's a gate, there's the 2 guards, and there's the representative, and then there's Shadow behind him. He asked you here for asylum or here just to visit. You guys said visit, and he said, very good, follow me. And he stepped into the darkness, and then you lost him.
Oh, yeah, I'm just like, we're on the forest map, so I'm just,
You're still technically on the forest, but I don't have a map for the gate. Because it didn't seem necessary.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think I will just lead the way for the group to go through the darkness. Being ready, of course, in case somebody comes flying out at me to attack any one of us.
All right. As you step into the darkness, Dust first, then others soon after. Since Dust, you're the first one to see things, go ahead and roll a perception check. And since you're keeping an eye out for anything, advantage. That's a 1. Wow. No matter where you look at it, you just get 2 1s or 1 1. Dust, for a moment, you saw like glimpses of reflections, maybe, as you swear you saw other people like walking through the shadows, but then you lose instances of them, or you just like don't see them altogether. You see like maybe someone in the corner of your eye, but when you go to look, there is no one there. When you step through, it was shadow, and underneath the ground, or at least on the ground itself, it's like marbled flooring with marbled white and blue filigree. The humanoid male looks towards you, and he does state, is there a problem? As the rest of your team like steps through.
No problem.
Very well then. Continue to follow me. They step through the shadows, and the more they step, the more ground you can see, without actually losing visibility of him anymore. But he doesn't take a straight path. Rather, he goes 50 feet forwards, 30 feet to the left, 20 feet forwards, 20 feet to the left, and then forwards for the remainder, give or take 100 feet.
Just following him.
Okay. As you do so, they eventually get towards the door, and your team is standing in front of it. Well, unfortunately, I am not allowed in, since I am simply guiding you here. But simple enough, you open the door and you all walk through. Any questions?
Okay. I don't think so. We're just meeting you were just leading us to the councilman, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll one more. Can I roll insight again?
Go for it. He just seems like he's doing his job, but from what you can tell by the way he worded things, if he didn't show you how to get here, you might have been lost for who knows how long.
Gotcha.
He's also kind of evil. Like, not evil in the sense of sending you here to die, more in the sense of I really hate my job, and if I ever see you in town ever again, I am not going to talk with you whatsoever.
Well, thanks for the escort. I hope your day is great. Here is a gold piece for your troubles.
You can see his attitude towards your team shifts a little bit. Not a lot of people tip, especially with gold. Oh, thank you, sir. If you need anything else, just let me know. My name is Gavin. Pleasure to meet you. He takes
Gavin. Good name.
Yes. He begins to walk in the shadows, and like 10 steps to the farthest one away from you. Well, the farthest one to the back of your group. 10 steps after that, you lose sight of him into the darknesses once more.
I'm a nice person. I'm a kind of a crazy person.
Well, let's go in and get into this city. Don't say anything too crazy.
Define crazy.
Do you know who I am, Dust?
As you open the door, you do see a continuity of people here. 2 guards to the left and right of the door. They more or less salute as you step inside. The council members, Wind, Fire, Water, Earth, Steel, and the mayor, Vanetta, who you never really asked who was the mayor, but that's perfectly fine. They were going to be here anyways. They do nod towards you, and Vanetta does state, welcome, travelers. So, what brings you here today? I assume business, pleasure, or are you perhaps seeking asylum thanks to the events of the Sundering a few months ago?
We are not seeking asylum. It's a combination of business and seeking information through library, bookstores, as well as meeting acquaintances or tasked with meeting with certain people that are within Dawn.
Yes, of course. Being that the circumstances are as thus, a few laws have been applied. One is no information that you are able to gain from here, say books and the like, can be taken away from the city itself. So do be aware if you try to do so, it'd be lost to you. Another is currently magical abilities have been refined to be outlawed other than those required to the daily life. So mending, prestidigitation, thaumaturgy at some point in times here and there. Things of those nature are allowed so long as you don't use them for violent actions.
Would we be capable of using it in our defense if the need so desire?
Yes, of course.
If need is needed.
Yes, of course. But if someone is trying to work against you with the magical capacity, please inform any of our magical knights to deal with the problem at hand. But you should find the city itself more or less capable of protecting you and being safe to it. We have gathered many resources during our months of isolation for some time, and we'll continue to strive to make sure the city is safe. That being the case, though, you mentioned acquiring knowledge and books from the library. There is a library here, if that is what you're seeking. It is known as the Library of Paper and Ink, or Paper and Ink, dependent on what you want to describe it.
Are there any golden apples in that library?
I am sure there are a few.
I think we needed one of those for something.
Opal looks towards you. That was a while ago. And a different thing altogether.
Oh, you needed one. I remember.
Technically still do, but I can wait. Vanetta does state, well, I'm sure you'll find many golden fruit there. That being the case, though, other than that, is there anything else you would like to know about the city itself?
I think for the time being, At least I'm good for the time being. Anybody else?
Okay. Just to give me a little bit of a more of a head recap of like our whole purpose being here, was there something about more on the lines of Ada finding out somebody that she was gonna find here, right? Because her
the only people who know is really Amara. Outside of Ada is Amara and anybody else that she told.
Okay.
We do not know that the person that she's looking for is here in Dawn.
Yeah. Okay. Other thing is that is I feel like there was a big reason why we're coming here.
Yes.
And
the biggest reason is because the city itself went dark, which means they stopped communicating with the capital itself.
Okay, that's what
we first need to gather information to figure out what is going on, and if we need to fix it. If it's as simple as telling them, hey, you need to get in contact with the capital, that needs to come later on once we figured out what is the state of the city.
Gotcha.
Like, from what you can tell and what you've been given already right now, Nikolai, they have ramped up security heavily. They've enforced laws that just in case someone was to terrorize the citizens, people would enforce the protection. They've gotten dragon riders, wizard soldiers. They've ramped up heavily. And while it doesn't seem like they're restricting you from doing anything, it also feels as if you're being watched this entire time. Like, although the element houses, fire, wind, water, earth, steel haven't said anything, they've been monitoring you, keeping an eye on the conversation this entire time.
So I have a question, though.
Are you asking me or the council?
You, Mayor.
Yes.
So there are 6 of you.
Correct.
Why do you have an 8-seated table? Why don't you just get a 6-seated table?
You see some of them chuckle. And Fire does state, I've made mention of this multiple times. It's just what we bought a while ago, and it came with 8 chairs. We
I felt like
get this question a lot.
Two people were missing, but regardless, so okay.
Water does state that it was some time ago when we had 8 members, but truly that was when we were trying to fill the necessity of the chair amount. But eventually those 2 houses died off.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your time. We'll go to the library now and do our research. If there's nobody else that has any questions before we leave.
Is going to speak?
Ada?
She's not going to say a thing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Steel does state, if you'd like, I can have someone accompany you to the library itself to make sure you don't get lost. Otherwise, you'd have free reign of the city so long as you don't cause any harm to the civilians themselves.
Oh, no need to trouble your guards. They seem very agitated at their current lines of work. I seem like they sense that they are overworking themselves at times, but we'll be fine on our own.
Then
And of course, and we can always ask people in town.
Of course. Then do take great stride not to cause any harm to the civilians. And as more than likely the mayor would state, I do welcome you to Dawn. You do see that the doors do open, and instead of that weird, murky, shadowy thing, you see that the doorways just open into the city, like into the middle of the street, with people like wandering to the left and right of the door, but no one entering through, as if this building is like in the middle of the city for some reason.
Oh wait, we came in through this door, and now we're going.
There was only
into the
one
city?
door. The first door had ebony shadow where you could not even see through it. You went through it, and now the doors have opened magically, or someone opened it and you didn't see. And now there's like a street with people walking through back and forth here and there, but no one walking through the door.
As we leave, can I roll an Arcana check?
Sure. On the door, the street, the room, or the people?
Just the door. I'm trying to understand what happened with the door. Like how
yeah.
came in and then we left and we're is it? Yeah.
From what you can tell, this door is likely inscripted with some magic that allows it to open into any passageway into the city itself they choose.
Interesting.
Now, to what ends, you're not entirely sure. To what degree, you're not entirely sure. But based off of what you've already seen, this door might open to various spots in the city.
Okay.
One of them being literally in the middle of the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you begin to leave. You're given like small little papers, basically not visas, but your passports have been stamped. And as Steele mentioned, Veneta does state, again, welcome to the city, and I do hope you enjoy your stay.
Wow. Magical.
As you enter the city, you see halflings, elves, half-orcs, full orcs just wandering the streets here and there. A lot of Genasi and merfolk as Nikolai begins to wander away. And then like flying sentries in the sky, on griffins, on drakes, just flying, keeping an eye on everything. And other than the like overabundance of security, no one seems to be like want for do or like begging on the street. Everyone seems to be more or less okay. Sure, some people look better than others. Others not 10s out of 10. Some of them are like 5s, 4s, 1s. So sorry, gang. Not everyone is as beautiful as your group. But you can tell that more or less, like whatever force came here and took control of it, not oppressing the people, or at least not to the degree that it's visible, as far as you're aware.
Yeah, no, like it's a very, very much a covert operation in this case.
Yeah.
Covert, you said?
Covert. Not easily
Covert.
seen.
Nikolai's like,
I was saying that above game.
oh, I got excited.
You do so, and Whisper like looks towards you. Not gonna join you in covert things anymore.
What are you talking about? No, Whisper. I thought we had a thing going. We're gonna kind of be our cool little sneaky people and like kind of run around and do like cool things. And we sneak into the mansion together. You remember that? It was fun, right?
I mean, it was fine, but I don't think that's kind of. Don't
What?
look for a profession in that type of work, Nikolai.
Well, you could train me. We could be like cool little like dual squad that we kind of like sneak in and do covert things and yeah.
That takes a while and years of training, or maybe months in your case.
You know that I can turn into anything that you like. I imagine any kind of person, any.
That's why I
person
said
that I've
months for you.
seen.
It was a compliment.
Okay, it's fine. Okay.
You would still
How
have
many-
to gain the
Wait,
skill.
normally does it take like years for people? Like
Yes.
they have to like. Oh, okay.
I literally said that in the beginning. While Whispers basically stating, "No, Nikolai, we're not going in the covert thing again." Amara does grab onto Ada's hands. Just you don't know why, she just does so. But she begins to lead Ada into the town as well as the rest of you. She does state, so where to first? Ada, you can tell that immediately she did this to not draw attention to you rather than her, and also to try to calm your hands.
Can I see if that worked? Can I roll?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an intelligence saving throw. Your hands still might shake, your mind still not like if you fail or not, it just might not show anymore. I'm gonna say you have advantage thanks to Amara. They're still shaking, but it's not like so visible the rest of the team could take note of it. With Amara holding onto your hands, like clasping onto them, like more or less pretending to be excited in the city, but really just covering for the situation at hand. You're calming down, but you're not exactly there yet. But you can tell that Amara has been keeping an eye on you to make sure she'd be fully aware if things like this would happen. That's kind of what you gathered when she accidentally did this and she found out what Opal feels about her. But that's another story altogether. But right now she's making sure that you're okay. But she leads the team forwards. Ada's hand to hand. So, where to first?
I guess the library is the first place we want to check out.
Yeah, I think the library might be a good thing first to go to. Because we did say that we would be going there first.
All right, fair enough. Fauna does state. If we go into the library, should we go somewhere to maybe find a place to sleep or eat?
Yes. After the library, let's find a place to sleep.
Oh.
She nods.
Wow, this library's big. Echo!
You just hear like 3 more echoes in the area. The librarian to your left looks towards you. Nice, bright tiefling woman. Excuse me, sir. This is a library. Can you please talk a little bit quieter?
Sorry, my bad.
It's okay. I know. When I first came here, I got very excited too.
I go run off and I go. Oh, sorry. Wait. I got excited. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. What did you just say?
You run off. She was just gonna look towards the team. You can run off if you want to, Nikolai. But she was just gonna say, welcome to the library. If you need any help, just let us know.
Very well.
She goes back to her paperwork. Not ignoring you, but like not keeping an eye on you.
Hopefully Nikolai doesn't have a hatred for books.
You rush over towards the books and you find a stack of them. Are you looking for anything specific, or are you just like wandering around picking a book here and there?
I'm looking for arcane books or books that have to do with history and covert operations or being a spy.
All right. Go ahead and roll investigation.
An 18.
You find 2 books specifically. One's titled Spy and Spy Works, and the other one simply titled Arcane in the Arts.
Ooh, okay. I take both of them and I go find the group.
You do so.
Dust will be looking for two things. The first being to see if there's like an archive of what's going on in the city, like an ongoing archive. Just to kind of get the recent, what's been written down in the recent history of the city, if it's within the library. And then he's also going to be looking for information on the hunters.
All right. Go ahead and roll for me investigation.
Okay. Dang it.
You do find 3 newspapers, like older newspapers, like not so old they're out of date, but that's the closest thing you can find to current events, but you find nothing about the hunters.
Okay. And can I gather much from these newspapers?
Yeah, you do, but first, Ada, is there anything you're looking up? Or are you just like spending this time calming down and trying to relax?
I was gonna say thank you to Amara, and she's gonna try to find the book. I don't know what the character was named. Michael wanted them to find.
Oh yeah.
Or is it I can't remember his name either.
It was Michael, and then he had a fiance, and I think the other dude was an R name. I think
Oh, Carl. His name's Carl.
It was it. Oh, I was really off.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead and roll investigation with advantage since you know specifically the title you're looking for, even though you currently don't remember.
Yeah, it was Carl.
It was Carl.
Carl,
Yeah.
Sarah, and Harry.
Oh.
We had all of our good rolls at the beginning.
No.
Now we're getting all the crap.
I mean that's good. You took down a dragon in the beginning. Now you just can't find a book. D&D, everyone. You like wander around the area, kind of get lost, and you do that little kid thing when they go into a very big store. You kind of get sad because you can't find where you wanted to go, and you also can't find your friends because you kind of got lost in the alleyways and stuff like that. So like more or less having a mini panic attack until like a dragonborn comes over to your side. You can tell it's one of the clerks that was in front in the library when you first entered. The dragonborn with their golden scaling looks towards you, simply states, "There's nothing you need, miss."
I'm looking for a book. Can she make a history check to remember a name? Because out of game, I wrote it down.
Like, Ada, you can just, since you wrote it down, you can just say your character knows. You don't need to make a roll if you know your character knows.
Yeah.
I wrote it down and then somehow I crossed it out for some odd reason.
It happens.
I think because I had the name wrong. So I'm still gonna do this.
Yeah.
For sure.
No.
If it's worth it anyway.
Yeah. You tell him the book name and he does state, "Oh yes, we do have the book available. Let me go check." He looks towards a catalog of like small little numbers and things that you may not know or are aware of. But then he pulls one out and he does state, "All right, then it should be there." He like walks to the third row, fourth shelf, and then like takes out a book. Well, that can't be right. He looks towards you and he does state, "I'm sorry, but based off of our own account and recordings, it does not seem we have the book anymore. Whatever happened, it seems that our filing system might have shifted a bit. If you'd like, I can requisition the book and see if anyone currently has it in their possession, if anyone's taken it out into the city, and I'll let you know if it is returned."
I'll love that. Thank you.
Of course. He like puts down a few things here and there, and then states, "All right then. It will be held in place here for about 2 weeks upon its return, so you have that time to acquire it. It's strange though. It does state that it's here, but I remember having the book here a few months ago, so that's a little strange, but we will make sure this is taken care of."
Ana nods and goes and try to find her friends again.
Okay. I'm not gonna make you roll for look for friends because that might give Ada a panic attack. So you eventually find them because the place is big, but like Nikolai would do, you maybe like shout a little bit, and they eventually find you. But thus you do find the 3 newspapers, and in them they do state, current elections. Right now, the governing forces of our city themselves are looking for politicians. Maybe that could be you. Current governing standing is the current mayor, and then it has like a posting of those opposed or against her in the next election. Currently, no one. So basically, an advertisement of next mayor in the city, but she's currently running unopposed. So that's strange because according to this newspaper, even though it's a week old, the next election is within 2 weeks. And in just 2 weeks, that's not a lot of time for your campaigning. So more than likely, she's going to automatically win. Which is strange. Well, not that strange, but running unopposed is the strange part, especially this late in the game. That being the case, though, what the other newspaper does have like small articles here and there, and one of them does read, it's like a tabloid, more or less. It does read, Whispering Wallows in the Darkness. Are you haunted by spirits? Call 148-592 or look at their address, and it gives you a name and street address to find out if those whispers in the air are truly magical or arcane. And the last one does simply state, looking for work. It just has like someone's address, their it wouldn't be a phone number. It would be more or less their mailing address. And then simply states, I can cook, I can clean, I can be your husband or wife, whatever you want me to be. I just really need a job. Like, it tells you nothing about them other than their desperate need for a job. But Nikolai, what are you doing?
So I would like to, one, I want to, so I have all the, I pretty much know as much as I'm gonna, I mean, on this, okay, well, I'm curious about two things now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I want to do more research on my personal things.
Yeah,
because I don't know what Dust found with his newspaper. Well, at least he might have told me. So,
No, you would have been essentially sitting at a table reading up on
okay.
papers.
Gotcha. So I found those two spy books, or like one the spy book and the arcane book. I want to. What if I want to look at? I'll like talk to Whisper first and show her the books and like see if the spy book is gonna help me with anything.
Yeah. You come over to the main entrance where Ada and Amara and Whisper are. The other two have already found their books or like just wandering around. She does state, I mean, it'll give you general understanding of what spying will do, but any spy worth their grain and salt will tell you it's more you do things, and whether it succeeds or not determines how good of a spy you are.
Okay, fine. So it's not going to help me at all. Okay,
it
fine.
will,
okay.
In your current circumstances.
I guess it's more of like you learn from experience more than you learn from like knowing it, I'm guessing.
Yes,
that
but
kind of
where you're
thing?
currently at, this will also help you. But after a while, it will no longer help.
Okay, I'm just gonna like give it back to the librarian and say that I took it and I looked at it, because then they have to like say that the book was like used, that kind of thing. But anyways, can you help me find a book that can have more information about dark entities and things of that nature?
That would probably be an occult book. Not an expert in that, but I can look around.
Okay.
All right, Nikolai, go ahead and roll investigation with advantage, since Whisper is also helping you out.
Well, advantage, investigation, natural 20.
Whisper was saying that the book could help you, just eventually it could no longer help you.
Yeah.
But yeah, natural 20, you find like an old arcane book way, way, way in the back that like hardly anyone looks at it. It's so old.
Way in the back.
Cobwebs.
It has like a layer of dust on it.
We gotta go like way back here. Here we go.
You find it behind books. It's one of those things that terribly rude people do. Is like they open an area, grab a book, flip it so it's flat, and then close it with the other books. Monsters. But anyways, you find the book, and there it does read the old ones.
Whoa. I go find where Fauna is sitting down, and I go like sit down and help and like read over the book and see like kind of like see if I can read it, like what kind of text this is, and see if Fauna can help me read if I can't understand some of the words.
It is written in 3 primary languages. One is primordial. One is Infernal, and the other one is it's ink, like it's more or less like ink that's been splashed onto the page, but you can tell it's a fractal pattern of a language. So that would be deep speech.
I know Draconic, and I know Fey. So I'm not sure if I would get most of the I'm guessing.
Opal does know a lot of languages, so she can help you out on that.
Okay, so I'm guessing she'll help me read through some of the things that this thing is saying, but it probably take a little bit of time.
Yeah. The first part, after reading a little bit, you can tell that it's a lot of information. So when you go and open it, go ahead and roll investigation.
Another investigation?
Perception, I guess, could also work.
All right, I'll do an investigation. Investigation 23.
Nice. You begin to read it, and you do read a few things here and there, but the one you mainly get on the old ones is... I'll give you this one since it's the most appropriate right now. Says me. I meant to say that out loud to give you a hint. It does read... How would it be told? Yeah, I'll just go this way. The mind flayers, otherwise known as the ones that control the brain and the mind, are able to adapt, change, and attribute their calling on others. That being said, they themselves are being controlled by an elder brain. An elder brain, being known as the Old One, to them and various others, is an entity much like many others that has and is attributed to various ancient times. Many elder brains are a cause and concern for various reasons due to the fact that they have great mind powers and control. And even outside the body or inside of a body, it is able to control the minds and hearts without them ever knowing who they are. That being the case, though, they are found very, very deep in the underground darkness. Very rarely is it ever seen, and more not is it never truly known, as this is a theorem based on actuality and rumor. That being the case, though, there have been contacted notes that various things in the wild, that attribute to brains on hind legs going and attacking things in the nighttime. Some of these rumors may be more than meets the eye.
Okay, one question. Are there any diagrams in this book depicting a mind flare?
It's mostly text. It gives you like a general description of a mind flare, so Nikolai, roll insight to see if you can put two and two together.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He has seen a mind flare.
I know, I have seen a mind flare.
You have seen one. Advantage.
I was gonna roll Tides of Chaos. I
wanted it to be 4. You can tell what it's talking about is what you've seen before.
Do I roll a wisdom saving throw?
Yes. You just shout out and like drop the book. Immediately, all 3 people in the front row just like shush you harshly. And then Fauna just shouts at them, "It's okay, he's just shouting. He's not in any danger." They shout back at her to keep quiet.
I've seen one of these. Oh my goodness.
Okay. I mean, they're in the Underdark, so we should be fine.
No, I saw it in the I know the word. I just can't remember Nikolai knows where he saw it when he teleported. It was the
ethereal plane.
The ethereal plane.
She does state, well, we're not there either, but good to know we have an expert here. I guess.
I'm not an expert. I just went there like once.
Concerning. But what are you thinking that these things are here? Maybe.
Well, no, I was trying to learn about how it was if something was connected to the patch that I had.
Well, that'd probably take a little bit more investigation, but good to know that this also has information on other things that are very dangerous. And as Amara does state, please don't open that in the middle of the city. I don't want to go to jail in this city that I haven't gone to jail into before.
Yeah. I got the magic circle spell if in case it's starting to like try to come out, and I could use that as quick as I can, and then we could trap it. But that's on the case that if we want to deal with it or if it's trying to get out.
Well, fair enough. Just try not to let people die.
That's if someone's gonna die, I'm gonna be the first one to die defending the people that are around me.
Fair enough, I guess. So long as you're my mute shield. You can tell that Fauna is trying to replicate what Amara does and like pat you on the back to soothe and calm you. But it's one of those things that a kid doesn't know how to deal with emotions. So they try to emulate other people's actions. So you just see Fauna doing this. She just simply states, there, it's okay. You will get better in 4 hours like you did last time.
Yes, indeed. Hey, I kind of like whisper over to Dust. Dust, did you find anything?
Dust is actually far enough away that he wouldn't be able to hear you whispering.
Dust.
Eventually,
God.
Nikolai just shouts,
Dust.
shh. You get told again.
Did he hear
Dust would
me?
get up. Dust would get up and... What is it?
Did you find anything?
Some interesting points of detail, but not much.
I found a book on mind flares.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is a really good book. It might have information on how we can deal with the patch that I have too. Maybe even some devils, but I don't know. I haven't really looked for a book on that one exactly. And I think Fauna knows enough about that to deal with them, but
That and contracts, maybe.
do you need help looking for more information on what's going on in the town?
I think we're good. I'm good.
You see that a lot of
Okay.
people are now moving away from you guys.
Let's go. Anything else?
Oh. Wait, did you ask me that?
I think so.
Dust.
No.
You know a lot of languages, right?
Yes.
Can you help me look? I can't really understand a lot of these languages. Can you help me look through this book a little bit more? I think there might be some interesting things that we could learn from it.
Inferno, not Draconic. Inferno, Primordial, and Deep Speech.
I know all but the deep speech, at least the written.
Alright.
Because in Infernal and Abyssal, they're written the same way. They're just...
It's
or
like
at least close
Spanish and
enough.
English. You should be able to read some of it.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
think
If you want to look through it, investigation.
let me give a...
Help
Actually,
him?
no,
I'm
Infernal
guessing
not.
I'm helping him because I'm trying to look at this, but I don't know if I would be able to because I can't read it. But
Investigation.
You
Yeah.
got a 21 anyways.
Good rolls, anyways.
Your good rolls are returning.
I have
Yay.
a plus 6 to investigation, so...
yeah.
Oh, that is true. Your moderate rolls are returning.
Hmm.
Good rolls are returning, but
Yeah.
I get a plus 6 to investigation, so...
Yeah.
At any rate, you begin to investigate the book itself, and there you find a little attribute things here and there. And in one of the passages, you do like come across something known as binding. Inside the book, that is written to an inscription with Lulth, the spider goddess of the Drow and the Underdark. It reads as follows. Bindings. Bindings is an attribute property of things attributed to other things, meaning that they can control by one vice versa, but never between vice versa, as that would be the control of the controller. So the controller would be able to control the one that's bound. Often than not, this is how the goddess Lulth controls the drow in the primordial state they are when birthed. They control them through the process known as binding. This type of process can be attributed and changed through many attribute factors, but it can also be reproduced by a magical means. Such things would be needed with an enchanter or magical infuser. However, these type of things can also be done naturally or heavily magically. However, a bounding or enchanter would be needed to make this a more powerful reason to be attributed to various things rather than just one thing. However, that takes time and effort. However, it is also a subtle thing that is very imperceptibly seen through the eyes of those simply watching and observing. That being the case, though, this is very rarely found and only truly found in the Underdark. See patches 3182 for context clues. It just means like go to page 1582 to see like what it has been used for.
What does it say?
I pretty much gather that, and it's like
the basic property or meaning to that entire spiel is binding, a property that Lolth has used to take control of the drow when they are born. However, this type of process can be reproduced by an enchanter or by high magical means. But the best way and the most effective way would be to use an enchanter. It would take longer. However, this property would be far more subtle than simply casting a spell outright into the general populace. See 1582 for general context clues. I'm pretty sure I changed the number 3 times, but it doesn't really matter.
Sure.
Yeah. The number doesn't really matter, and it's like even though Dust would go there, it'd just be like a set of examples and whatnot. So